beautiful Lake Nipissing. We are in Northern Ontario, Canada, and I just wanted you to take a look and see the kind of area that I live in, and that eating raw and eating healthy in this climate and in this country is possible. Today we're going to be going on a beautiful walk, and you will see from the video that we're going to do just how much there is to forage and that is possible to eat when living in a climate such as this in Northern Ontario. We also have beautiful lake here behind us, large lake, lots of great fishing and other fun exercise and water sports we can do, but primarily you can also see behind me as well all the beautiful green forests that we have that surrounds us in this beautiful city of North Bay. So we'll catch up with you in a bit, and you'll enjoy this wild edible walk that we'll be going on. See you soon. Okay, so here we are. We are at Camille's house, and we are on Nipissing First Nation in North Bay, Ontario, Canada. And Camille is going to take us for a walk throughout her yard, and you can see some of the forest here behind us. But we're actually going to look at some of the wild edibles that are growing right in her yard that may be able to help you identify these plants when you're out walking in Northern Ontario. So this is my friend Camille, and now we're going to go into the yard and check out some of these wonderful, flavorful greens. Okay, hi Camille.
Hi.
Okay, so you're gonna take us on a little tour here of some of the greens that you have in your yard here. Can you just remind everyone first some of the, what we should be looking for, or give us some kind of words of advice when we're looking at wild edibles?
Number one, always be 100% positive of your ID before you ingest, because you could get yourself in a lot of trouble if you're not sure. Second is, when we're talking about greens as for a salad, our salad portions are very, very small when you're talking wild edibles. You're not looking at like an East Side Mario's size salad. You can throw some of the edibles in with your romaines and icebergs to have a nice full salad, but the wild edibles are very full of nutrients and vitamins. Our bodies aren't used to processing that much. It's like a big punch to the gut. And there is some toxic substances in these plants, so that's why we always ingest in small quantities.
Now, would you recommend that people always wash their wild edibles?
Absolutely.
Like, what do you...
Absolutely.
Because say we're camping or we're lost in the bush or whatever, what if we don't have water or we're conserving water?
Okay. There's a lot of these plants I'll talk about. I'll actually call them a trail nibble. That means if you're just going to pick a few berries or a few plants and they look fairly clean, you can just pop them in your mouth. That's not an issue. But if you're going to go ahead and make yourself a big salad, you should definitely wash your leaves in clean water. Just give it a nice wash. They can get quite dusty, especially depending where you're picking from.
Okay, thank you. What else should we be watching for or cautious of?
Well, one of the best lessons I've learned is you should always learn your poisonous plants before your edible plants in your area, because the list of poisonous plants is much shorter than your edibles plants. And when you come across your poisonous, you'll just recall it right away. So that's one good tip. And as far as picking, you want to pick where the energy is. I'll use the dandelion as an example. The entire plant is edible. So if the flower is up, that beautiful golden flower, that means all the energy is being pushed to those petals. That's what you want to be eating. If the flower's not there, then the leaves are the best part to eat. And once the frost has hit the ground a few times, then you're going down to the roots. That's where all the energy is going. So pick where the energy is.
Okay. Oh, that's a great one. Now that's with the dandelions that are flowering. What about dandelion greens that don't flower?
Dandelion greens are the best early spring. After a while, later in the summer, the heat and the size of the leaf gets very bitter, not as pleasant to eat. Still edible, just not as pleasant.
Okay. Okay. And any other tips for us before you show us some of these beautiful plants?
Have fun. Be cautious, be safe, but go out there and learn. It's fun.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so Camille, do you want to just tell us what this first plant is here?
Yeah, this is bunchberry. It's a beautiful little plant. When it first comes out, you get these 4 leaves, and then a new set of leaves will come out on top. so that you have this beautiful pattern, and then the flower comes up with this seed head inside. At this point, there's nothing much edible about it. Some people will eat the seeds, like poppy seeds, but you're really waiting for these to develop into beautiful red berries. The red berries are edible. They have a very subtle taste. They're a nice little trail nibble. They'll quench your thirst. But they're really great to collect when you're harvesting other berries. So these red berries have a very subtle taste, and you'll want to collect them to stretch your collection of other wild berries, such as like a wild strawberry. Wild strawberry is much, much smaller than what you would find in the grocery store. It's about the size of, like a big one would be. So wild strawberry, a big wild strawberry is the size of my pinky fingernail, but it is so much more flavorful than what you find in the grocery store. But since the berries are so small, it can be hard to collect enough to make a nice jam or jelly or sauce. So you might want to mix the bunchberry with the strawberry to stretch your yield.
Okay, and here, these ones are the bunchberries.
That's
here.
Right. That's right.
Okay, so, sorry, go ahead. What else would you like to tell us about?
So the roots, leaves, and flowers can be used as flavoring in like pit cooking or in a stew or something like that. And the leaves are also, if you bruise them up, crush them up a little bit and cover them with just a little bit of cold water and then drink that down, that becomes your vitamin C supplement for the day. And just the leaves, a nice leaf tea, strawberry leaf tea, is just a really beautiful iced tea in the summer.
Okay, so someone would want to be careful not to drink or have too much of those, because vitamin C can also upset your tummy a little bit if you have too much, or if your body's not used to
But you're talking about
amounts.
a high concentration.
In the leaf.
When the leaf is just covered with a slight bit of water, you're talking about a very high concentration. If you have a palmful of leaves bruised up a little bit in a I don't know, 3-cup iced tea maker, then you'll be safe.
Okay.
You'll be safe.
Okay, so what is this next plant that you're showing us?
This next plant is a very popular wild edible. This is blueberry. So you're looking at a lance-shaped leaf. It's a very low-growing shrub, and it has these star flower, like the flower has died off. There's usually a white, pinkish bell flower hanging off of these. The flower has now died off, and you're left with this star. And you'll actually see the star at the tip of your blueberry if you really pay attention. So you're looking for this star to identify blueberry properly. So the blueberry we all know as a favorite raw in baked goods, jams, jellies, syrups. But the dried berries and the dried leaves in a tea works the same as cranberry does when you have a urinary tract infection. It is an excellent treatment for urinary tract infections or bladder infections. So you would steep the dried leaves and the dried berries, and there you go, you would have yourself your treatment.
Nice. Blueberries is one of my favorite Northern Ontario treats.
So this here is clover. We have, I believe, 4 varieties of clover in Northern Ontario. We have the red, the white, the alsike, and the yellow clovers.
Okay.
All are edible. The leaves are really great additive to a salad. I just love throwing them in my salad.
What are the low-lying ones that you kind of see like in a grassy field and like, you know?
The lowest ones that I know are the yellow ones, but even these young are really small and grow low to the ground. So if you keep mowing your grass, they're just going to be that size. These are left alone, so they're growing much bigger.
So they're longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the flowers are edible and really, really sweet. So the flowers are edible, the leaves are edible, all can go in a salad, all can go in a tea. I like to dry these greens. These and the strawberry greens and the blueberry greens, all the greens I've been talking to you about, I like to dry them, and over the winter you just crumble it up over your mashed potatoes, over your food like you would salt and pepper, and that way you keep getting the vitamins and supplements that are available to you in your area year round, and you don't have to rely on store-bought vegetables that are already like 3 weeks old and not very high in
Now what about
nutrients.
freezing? Could someone freeze any of these greens if they wanted to add them to a salad in the winter? Do you know
I've
if
never
that's...
tried. I've never tried. but that would be a fun experiment.
Yeah. Maybe
yeah,
we
that
should
would be
freeze
fun.
some this summer to see.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be a fun experiment.
Okay, so now we're in a more shaded area. What are you showing us here?
This is blue bead lily. And this, as you can see, when it starts to grow, it can carpet an area. It's quite beautiful to look at, and it's edible. You will eat the leaf only. This plant produces...
I'm coming over there, hang on.
This plant produces these beautiful little yellow flowers.
Can you eat them?
No, the flowers are poisonous. And then when the flower dies off, it will leave you a blue bead, hence the name blue bead lily. And those are also poisonous, so we avoid anything that grows on the stem. We only eat
and it's
the
coming
leaves.
out the middle of that, of all the
three
leaves.
leaves. Yeah, comes right up.
Now, how come some of them, because like these ones over here don't have the flower yet?
That's a good question. I can't say 100%, but usually it's a first year, second year type thing, biannual.
So this plant, it's the leaves you want
You
that
want
you can
the
eat.
leaf, yes.
And how do they taste? Have you tried them?
Yes, they're wonderful. This is one of my favorites to add to salad. It tastes like cucumber.
Oh, nice.
Why is there only 2 leaves?
That's a younger one.
Kestrel, have you tasted it ever?
No.
No?
Yes, you have. We've had lots of salad with you. And
He
you
just
don't
doesn't know.
remember. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So,
Okay.
and this leaf is very, very smooth on both sides, almost leathery.
Yeah.
There's no furriness, hairiness to it at all.
Yeah.
So it's quite easy to identify.
And thick. It's very coarse and very thick. It looks like I would eat it. Like it looks like I want to eat it.
Yeah, well, it's a nice one. This, again, it is a wild edible. You don't want to go and make yourself a huge salad just at this.
Right.
You will get a bellyache. I've done it.
Yeah.
I've eaten too much of it and caused myself a tummy ache.
Yeah, you can throw it in smoothies too, I guess,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it would definitely,
Is this one older or younger?
especially if you're not used to it.
Older. Older.
Okay, so that pretty much summarizes. We can talk, well, Camille can tell us a lot more. There are many other plants here, but today we've decided to keep this video as short as we can, but to give you a good introduction to some of the wild edibles here in Northern Ontario. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again another time.